Hear me now. War fire.
Hello, welcome back to Super Wednesday Live. Armando cannot make it with us today, so I'll be filling in his big shoes. So just bear with me as I introduce one of our favorite couples from Las Vegas. They are from Canada. They'll tell you all about from where and how, when, where, and why. And our head judges for our Ultimate Latin Dance Championship competition in Vegas. I would love to introduce to you my two favorite Canadians, Eric and Kelly.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see
Hi
you.
guys. Hi guys. It is, I know, right? So good to see you. I'm so glad you got the memo. Wear black. Thank you so much.
Always
you guys
ready.
look awesome. So I just kind of want to start with, actually, normally I start with how you guys met and how you got started with salsa. I don't want to do that this time. I want to know what you guys have been up to. I mean, like, you know, let's start with the present. What have you guys been doing the past 2 years, I guess it's been? So what has kept you guys busy? What have you been doing? How have you reinvented yourself?
Well, I guess like you're saying, we had to reinvent ourselves to a certain extent. We've tried to keep working as much as possible within what was allowed and what was possible. The rules are very different in Canada as well, so I think we all live in a different reality now, so everybody's adjusting differently. As of right now, we are allowed to teach a little bit, so we're back in studios with our teams, but it's been on and off, mostly off for 2 years, so we've barely taught people live in the last 2 years. So yeah, we had to reinvent ourselves, like you're saying. So we've organized a lot of virtual competitions. In fact, I believe we may have been the first one to do it, but I'm not sure. With Anya, the first one we put together. So we organized quite a few of those, and you know, like actually, it as sad as it was, it opened different doors. It allowed us to work with different people. Like our last virtual competition we did, we had 13 different judges, but like judges from literally around the world that maybe we couldn't afford to fly to Calgary, but because it was all on Zoom, it gave us opportunities to work with different people that maybe we couldn't have had in the past. So it kind of created new opportunities in a way, and I think that's probably the biggest thing that we've done, right?
We've been developing our online classes. We have a couple of new very exciting projects in the works for online dance classes and wonderful platforms that we've been working on. We've been working a lot on our processes for competition, whether it's presenting them virtually or making them better when we can finally be with everybody. And we've been doing a lot of Zoom classes.
Yeah, actually, we did something really interesting. We're about to launch a big production of online classes called VIPclasses.com. So that was a super cool experience. We flew in a 4-time Emmy director from Hollywood to come shoot the video directly here. It was a massive, massive affair, and lots of editing, lots of work in the process right now. It's not out, but we'll be launching pretty soon.
So I have to know, how soon is soon? Because that just sounds so exciting.
Yeah, we don't have a date, but I would say in the next 2 months it'll be out.
That's spring. Okay, let's shoot for spring.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, awesome. And that website, again, I'm just promoting it, pushing it out there.
It's VIPclasses.com. I think there's a landing page right now, but it's not fully running yet.
Awesome.
But lots of great instructors on it, lots of different instructors from around the world that we flew into Calgary to participate in that project. So It's pretty cool.
I was just going to leave it at exciting new project.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I think it's just
spoiler alert. And they heard it here for the first time, Super Wednesday Live.
That's right.
All right. Well, yes. So let's talk a little bit about you guys. I mean, who are you and how did you get to finding a 4-time Emmy Award winner, you know, and reinventing yourself? Like, where did it start?
For us or for the project?
No, for you guys, for Eric and Kelly.
Oh, wow. That's a tough question. That's a big question. How much time do we have?
As short as you want to make it. Hint, hint. All right.
We've been dancing together for like 18 years. Yeah.
You don't have to admit how many years. Just
I know, right? So,
and yet,
a few years ago.
And yet we haven't aged at all.
At all.
Yeah,
At all.
there is no gray in my beard. Yeah, I moved to Calgary 22 years ago from Montreal, and then I met Kelly, and then I didn't know much salsa at the time. That's when I discovered salsa through Kelly, and then we started to dance with each other, and then we had our trio that was with David that kind of got us noticed a little bit internationally, and then after a career, we got lucky and started judging right away, and then we started organizing competition, and we were lucky to be able to keep busy in our industry for the last 20 years or so.
So I'm just going to interject with just some details in there.
Yeah.
Is it true that you came from ballroom?
Yeah.
Both of you came from ballroom, and that's how you guys met. And so Kelly was already doing salsa there in Calgary?
Yes, so I was doing salsa here in Calgary with my partner David, and Eric moved to Calgary to dance with another professional dancer here as a ballroom dancer. And we worked in the same studio, and we all became friends, and then eventually ended up doing shows together and competing together, dancing together. And now it's really, I mean, we've done so many, it's been a long time. We've done, so many things, getting to work with our So You Think You Can Dance here in Canada as choreographers, which was a wonderful experience. And then what's even more exciting now is since we've been organizing competitions, we get to travel to so many events, and so many organizers bring us in to help out execute their competitions or judge at their competitions. And it's just a thrill to get to still be part of the industry for so very long.
Yeah, and actually Kelly just put it perfectly, where a lot of dancers, I don't want to say struggle, but a lot of very popular dancers that are active sometimes don't have as much work in their after career once they're done performing. So we're very fortunate to kind of found our niche that way, where our after career is that big, if not bigger than our actual dance career. We're busier now than we were as dancers, possibly. So we're quite fortunate to still be able to work and busy and travel in our industry.
So it just leads me to just some minor questions here. So Nate announced at his interview that he's retiring after this year. Are you guys retired performers, only judging, or?
Well, I guess we never officially retired.
Always a door open.
Yeah, well,
okay.
We were, I think, just about ready to retire, but that's when I got sick. I'm not sure if whoever knows or doesn't know, but that's when at some point I got diagnosed with cancer, and it was pretty bad for a while, and so that put a hold on the dancing, and we just really didn't get back into the dancing. We were retired from competition, but we're still performing at different events, mostly locally, but we're still performing whenever people would want us to. But after I got sick, we didn't really get back on stage. But I mean,
well, that's not true. There was that one time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There's always that one time, Yeah.
But yeah, so
but
it's
I
not
did see
possible, but we're not really stage performers. Well, I'm
stage
not.
performers. Well, that's not necessarily true, because I did see Kat perform with at her Congress, and she did a fabulous job. It was so good. YouTube it, look it up. Kelly can give you details. Watch it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a thrill to get to dance with my friend Anya. And yeah, I'm not closing the door to being on stage. We got to do a really fun dance a little while ago with Jose Alberto as well, which was very exciting. And yeah, so I'm not closing the door.
Okay, all right.
I'm a dancer forever, so.
That's awesome. A few weeks ago, we had Tito and Tamara, and what they said was that they were very fortunate that when the first competition started rolling out, they were judges. And so they never quite had to compete to prove that they were skilled enough to be worthy of being judges. That's kind of where you guys are at too. Is that not right?
Not exactly, because we did compete for a long time. So
In the salsa world.
yeah. So Tito and Tamara are one of the few, like the original ones, I call them, when competition really started, that were a big part of the credibility of judges right from the get-go. So there's a few people like Tito and Tamara and like, Asmar and Yamule and like people like that have never really put a lot of time competing themselves, but were so credible that started just as judging right away. I think that happens less and less now. I think most, in order for dancers to become really successful, all the new generation, they need to become successful in competition. Like all the new judges now, the Ricardo and Karen, Rafael and Karine, like the list is long. They're all ex-competitors now for the newer generation, I think.
Right.
And that's,
so you
we
guys,
were the first one we went from competition to judging.
and that transition just happened because of your knowledge of the dances, right? I mean, you obviously proved yourself, because now we all regard you as head judges everywhere we see you.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's because my experience as a ballroom dancer and I was already a judge in ballroom as well. So I think that that helped getting hired as judges early on in our retirement from competition, and our, I want to say, organization skill, even though I don't feel organized at all ever in life.
That's okay. Your partner has the organization skills.
Exactly. Our events come across as being organized, I guess. And people notice that. So a lot of people start to ask us to run their events, to head judge, and to help with their competitions and things like that. So that's kind of worked out well for us.
Yeah, I guess I think we did go right from competition into judging and then started judging quite frequently, which was a huge blessing. But I think we both have a huge respect for our industry, and we want to contribute to it, and we want to make sure that we're always helping to move our industry forward. And so we do our best to organize fantastic events and competitions, and we have a great respect for the competitors, having done it for a long time and also working in lots of different genres. So I think all of those things helped out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I do want to get in where you think it's going. I'll take a real quick break, and we'll be right back with Eric and Kelly at Super Wednesday Live.
Ya estoy en zona, tranquilo que ya llegué.
Dice, vamos allá.
Estoy en zona, tranquilo que ya llegué.
Repítelo. Y como vengo,
Estoy en zona, tranquilo que ya llegué.
ya se comenta en el barrio. Existe preocupación de que no estoy en escena. Dejen el chisme, por Dios.
The first thing you notice when you arrive at Tropicana Las Vegas is that everything has changed. From the moment you arrive, you'll enjoy unique VIP service, and you'll be immersed in the casual South Beach vibe of this modern Las Vegas paradise. Tropicana Las Vegas features great dining experiences and thrilling entertainment choices, including Club Nikki and Nikki Beach Club. And when you need a rest from the excitement, adjourn to your very own sanctuary in the Tropicana's best-in-class rooms and suites. Surprise! It's the new Tropicana Las Vegas.
Mi canto viene del alma, tiene rumba y son. Lo traigo y lo llevo conmigo aquí, del África, Nueva York. Mi canto es para ti nada más, tiene rumba y son. Lo traigo, ya me lo llevo, del África, Nueva York. Desde el África hasta Nueva York.
Hello. We are back. Super Wednesday Live will be rejoined back with Eric and Kelly. And we were at the point where you guys were talking about you guys are giving to your community, how you guys want to give back to the dance community. So my next question does kind of involve, where do you see the dance community going, specifically the salsa, bachata, kizomba, all of those genres? I just can't keep up with it. So where do you see it going, or how do we get it growing or bigger, I guess? Just any input.
Well, it's hard to say. I'm really, really, really hoping that we're gonna get back to a sense of normality with congresses and live events and competitions.
So knock on wood
Yeah,
immediately.
and I think that's gonna happen. It might just take a little longer. Like I know it has started in a lot of places. We have our congress coming up in like 3 months, and fingers crossed on that, as there's a lot of restrictions in Canada again. But I think where it's going is going to be a combination of the two worlds, where we're going to have live events, but more and more I think we'll be able to judge competition virtually. Some dancers might be able to compete virtually at a live event. We might be able to utilize virtual judges at a live event through a screen. We could do virtual workshops at a congress with live people, things like that. So I think most likely something like that is going to happen, because we discovered virtual classes, virtual competition, virtual workshops, virtual training, all of that. So and it's working. It's just in the long run, it's just boring, right? But it can still be efficient and cost effective in many ways. So I think it's very possible we're going in a direction that might be a bit of a combination of both worlds, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the challenge for all of us has been seeing the opportunities that have been presented to us over the last couple of years. And absolutely, I think that a bit of a hybrid model of events is going to be amazing for people. You can attend an event whether you're flying there or not, and you can participate whether you're on site or not. And I think that's going to be a huge advantage. But for me, our industry is about feeling something and connecting and connection. And I think that people are so excited to reconnect to the music and the dance and each other and the community, and to be in a dark theater and just hear the music come up and be ready for those performers. And I think that the 20s are going to be great. I think there's going to be a huge market for people wanting to get out and connect again, and we just need to get ready because it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome. And I like hearing that you really do think that even though we've gotten comfortable with the virtual aspect of, remote, that we still want to get together and connect, and see each other, because as you hear me say every week, that I get so emotional seeing all of you, because you guys are my once a year dance family, that you guys know me, you've seen my daughter grow up, like you guys are like, the cousins that we only see once a year, and this is our get together, and I'm just going to be hugging and crying and just so happy to see everybody again. So it'll be interesting to see if the virtual part actually grows with the people who wants to connect and touch and feel and be back active again in the virtual world. And I have no testimony whatsoever, because I don't do it except for, of course, for my real work job, day job. But it just kind of seems like something lacking, something personable, when you're actually there, when you can see them, and the live and the ambiance and the emotions and the applause coming from the studio audience. Is that something that some people that they've forgotten perhaps in the virtual world, where the excitement of being all together and having thousands of people cheering for you, or possibly gasping if you fall? I mean, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, no, but I know what you're saying exactly, and I don't think it's forgotten, because we talk and we train a lot of those dancers, and they do it because there's nothing else to do, right? So they want to be in person. It's just, at the meantime, it's just better than nothing, right? So it just keeps people dancing. It still gives them a goal. But for us, when we're judging, like, we often give the comment and the feedback to the dancers to still try to connect with us. Look at the camera like you're looking at us, right? No, don't dance for no one, even though you're by yourself in that room, which is a challenge, right? But even if it's virtual, we're looking for that connection from the dancers, you know. So it's a little harder to project that through a camera, but at most definitely everybody's on the same page that we all want to get back together. We all want to hug, and especially at the Vegas Congress. A bit more than hugging sometimes, but we're always happy to get together and get a group of people and finish in the pool party.
Yeah, the collective experience is so important. You know, it's wonderful to be sitting in an audience cheering on performers and, you know, seeing your neighbors react and feeling the crowd and being a part of something bigger than yourself, and then to be a performer on stage and to get that energy back. You know, it is a bit different virtually, but we're a resilient community, and, you know, we do what we can. So everybody was online, everybody was teaching their classes and performing and taking lessons online. So we still got to see a lot of our dance family, but, you know, being right next to them and getting to hug them and appreciate them in person, you know, there's nothing that replaces it.
But people kept on dancing at least.
They
You
did.
know, mostly competitors kept on dancing at the meantime because there were some opportunities for them to still to have a goal and to compete. So hopefully that helped at the meantime, and then they're just ready to be back on stage.
And we're ready for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you guys will be our head judges again at the Ultimate Latin Dance Championship. And I have to admit that I've been listening a lot to Anya lately talk about where salsa and bachata is kind of headed, where it's just kind of a disconnect in regards to the professionalism, perhaps, of how salsa or bachata should be in a syllabus. And because you kind of see like a salsera doing gymnastics versus salsera, you know, really dancing. What is your opinion in regards to how competitions in the future will kind of look like? Does there need to be a whole different division for acrobats and no acrobats, or what's kind of your take on competition moving forward?
I personally think it's a lot more about judges training than syllabus, from my perspective. I feel like one thing that Kelly and I are trying to work on is to try to I don't know if unify is the right word, or standardize a little bit the rules across different competition in North America, at least, where if a couple gets their routines ready for competition, they don't have to change their elements if they travel to Vegas or Miami or New York. Like, they should be able to compete with that same routine because the rules are the same, or at least they're similar. So I think standardizing rules across is more of a priority for me, at least. Um, but even though I come from the ballroom world, I don't want too many rules in salsa myself. I think salsa originally is a street dance, is a social dance. We need to keep that aspect into that without making too many rules. But you know, and I don't disagree with what you're saying at all, and what Anya's saying originally, obviously, but I don't think a gymnast should win a salsa competition because she's a gymnast. That's part of the judges' decision to make. So if the judges are being impressed because she's a great gymnast and she can do pirouettes and blah, 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 then they're just not good judges. We're judging a salsa competition at the end of the day. But from my perspective, she should still be allowed to do it as a gymnast. It was just we don't have to judge it that way, you know? That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's like,
great.
it's such a huge conversation, and it's one that's been, you know, being had. We've been part of, you know, lots of conversations around competition. And for me, I always want to go back to that competition is a great opportunity for dancers to get themselves out there. And if you want to be known as a dancer, it's really a great vehicle, especially now more so than ever, to get yourself out there and compete. And also in a competition, we are looking for the best dancer. We're looking for a great representation of salsa, a great professional package out there. I'm looking for somebody to represent my industry as a champion of that division. And so it's such an exciting opportunity to give dancers a platform to actually be known. And yes, there's a lot of things that we need to get better every time, because this dance and this industry is too beautiful not to. But I think that there's a lot of positivity in competition, and I think that it's getting better and better. And I think that there's a lot of judges and event organizers and, you know, head judges, and there's a lot of people involved in competition that really care about making it a great representation of our industry. So I think there's a lot of great things going on too, and we're trying to be part of the good stuff.
And the judging system is kind of developed that way. So if the judging system and the judges are understanding the system well, and the judges are good judges, if I just put it bluntly, if someone like just spins for 2 minutes without stopping, it might be freaking amazing, but they should not be able to win a competition because they don't fill up all the boxes we have, all the criteria as we're judging.
Well,
right?
unless the category is like who spins the best.
Exactly. Yeah. So there are criteria in place for that. It's just, I guess the most important thing is to make sure those criteria are being respected while being judged.
I love what you guys are saying. As you guys know, I'm just a little peon, just a little runner, and figure out and score sheet person, and just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Okay. But I've been in the back part of the competitions for a few years now, and I love what you guys are saying. So I have to ask, this judging seminar workshop, I don't want to call it a syllabus, but this training of the judges, when can we expect that from you?
We're already, we love you. We've been brought in to do conversations about competition and judging, not only for the judges but for the competitors, so they understand what the judges are looking for, and just to maybe shed a little bit of light from both sides of the coin. And we're already doing that, and I think the more conversations we have, the better everything gets.
Yeah, we've been doing quite a bit of that actually in the last 2 years as well, is seminars and lectures for competitors, but from a judge's perspective. What are the judges looking for the dancers?
That is awesome.
Trained properly, and for dancers to understand all the criteria as each boxes. What do they mean? What's the percentage of each box, so they can prepare properly from there.
That is awesome. That is super. So just asking because I don't know, are you guys headed to Summit or no?
Yes, leaving in
All right.
A couple of days.
4 days, I think we're leaving from Miami.
Right, it's next week if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And you guys will be in Miami then for the week doing the summit along with other judges. And what's next?
After Miami, I think it's ours.
Yeah, we're going to go into full Congress planning mode. Usually it goes from Summit. We try really hard to put in a lot of good work. We ran 13 Congresses before we had our little break, and we've been really working on our processes, and we're ready to go. Like, we're ready to make this the best Congress ever. So that will be our singular focus, as well as, of course, our school here in Calgary, Alberta, and working on our online classes and coaching and doing all of that. It's really going to be full-on Congress prep, I think.
Yeah, Congress at March 31st, April 3rd in Calgary. Then I believe we do the Montreal Salsa Convention in May. And then probably after that is Vegas, July 4th weekend.
Yes, let's talk about Vegas real quick.
That's
So you guys have been coming, I really don't know how long, but for a few years.
Forever.
What's one of your favorite memories? What stands out? Or do you take workshops from anybody in particular because only at Vegas you can see them? Any of those questions?
Several memories. I have two. I mean, just the lineup and to start, like just the budget, obviously that is put into inviting all the best dancers in the world. Just that is impressive in itself. But two things that stand out for me very quickly is, as judging, Tropical Jam, they've been one of my idols since I started salsa, and I'm talking about only dancing. I don't always agree with what's being said and what's being done, but their dancing is just like, it was the first time and only time in my life that I was judging. And after I finished judging, I had to hold back to give them a standing ovation, So I like literally asking, like, I shouldn't get up, right? Like, should I do it or not? Like, I just literally wanted to get up to give them a standing ovation. But as judges, we shouldn't do that. So I didn't, but that's a big memory that stands out for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful to be involved with Las Vegas. I mean, I love that the organizers, some of our very good friends, they work really hard to put on the best Congress they possibly can. I have lineup envy every time. I always tell them that. I'm so proud to be involved with it, and I don't know how on earth they do it. The number of workshops, yes, there's so many workshops that we take because we don't have the opportunity to do it anywhere else, which is fantastic. The social dancing, the growth and the integrity of the competition is a huge thing. And then just, the pool parties, the social dancing, the getting to connect with everybody. We're a big dance family. And, Las Vegas is doing it on a scale that always impresses me. And it's really exciting to see, your friends do well. And I just love being there. And of course, the dancers, I mean, Eric already mentioned, Tropical Gem, and some of the dancers we don't get to see anywhere else that have been the best since we started. And it's such an honor to be able to be there and part of an event with them.
And my second memory that stands out the most is the pool parties. And last time we were in Vegas, the competition schedule was a bit different. So there was no competition on Sunday. So we were off. So we were able to actually really enjoy it with our dancers, because we always bring 30 to 50 dancers to Vegas. So every Sunday,
But then we're like, bye.
yeah. So every Sunday we rent the island in the middle of the pool, and then we just have our pool party in Vegas with all of our dancers, and it just makes for such a memorable experience for all of our people to share that with us and for us to share it with them. So if Nate and Jose are listening, I'm hoping there's no competition again on Sunday. Just saying.
There's no competition on Sunday.
All right.
I'm telling you now, there's no competition on Sunday.
Love it. All right. So let's reserve the island in the middle of the pool again. All right.
Well, you guys have been great. It has been my honor to speak with you guys for a little bit, who you are, where you came from, how you got here, what you've been doing, and what visions you have for the future for Salsa. And as always, I cannot wait to see you guys at the Las Vegas Salsa Congress. You guys are the best.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
having
having
us.
us.